So,
Pee Wee Anderson. Man, we were good friends for a long time.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Terrell, no, not at all. Not at all jealous of it.
Not worth it.
There you go. Chuck Scum is up next. That's where we're going here.
Scum?
Scumm. I don't know how else you'd pronounce that.
Two M's.
Two M's.
That's definite scum.
He said, was there ever any talk to add the original big sexy Norman to the Four Horsemen? I'm assuming he's meaning Norman the Lunatic, maybe. Or why wasn't Norman added to the Dudes with Attitude group? Has to be Norman the Lunatic. Either one would have been amazing with Arn and Norman tag team or classic matches against Arn and Ric Flair. Norman should have had a way bigger run.
There's always a time in the business to say no. You have to know when that time is and be 100% sure. Had they pitched Norman being my partner and being the latest horseman, I believe I'd have had to hit him with a no.
So there would have been. You're not into like the Lunatics with Arn and Norman, the tag team?
No.
You wouldn't want to wear the green medical get up the scrubs.
A lot of people think I'm a lunatic and have acted that way more than once. I'm not going to take it on as a full-blown gimmick. No,
Could you imagine Arn in the scrubs with Norman? I mean, come on now. That's some hilarious shit right there.
You like this, don't you? You like this question.
Oh, I do. There's some fun questions in here. We're not even there. There's one.
Jesus, guys. We're just getting started. I'm already kicked in the nuts.
I love it. It's just going to get better. And so Chuck, nope, sorry. And he mentions that classic match that could have been Arn and Norman against Ric Flair. So
I got pretty good, during the course of my career at making guys look better than they were. Don't know if I could have pulled that one off.
That would have been a monumental task.
I'm not David Copperfield. I may be a magician, but I'm not Dave Copperfield.
He said Dave Copperfield. All right, Arn, Frank Falls is up next, and we'll try to move on from Norman. He says, is digging way deep here with Double A. He wrote, I watched you back in the day at Rock Hill and Spartanburg. I met you in Clover, South Carolina a few months back. Were there any small arenas, armories, high schools, or community centers that you enjoyed going to? Ones where there might be 2,000 people or under, but it was packed and the crowds were hot. I'm looking to see if there's any small towns on the road you could put over. Thanks for making my life better and bringing joy to my childhood.
Well, you're welcome, and thanks for allowing me to do that, because without fans, we don't have a business. Any of those spot shows that were around Charlotte at the time, now when we started branching out, you got to remember, once you go from walking out of your house, getting in your car, driving 100 miles or 150 or less each way, when you start going from there to going to airports and getting on planes and flying places, the business travel schedule looks totally different. So any of those, colleges, Limestone College, Spartanburg, Shelby, Hillsville, Virginia, any small place that you could think about, Sumter, South Carolina, just little towns, Florence, towns that weren't on the regular, big city, big venue, anyone you could think of, Rock Hill, all those small places that were 2,000 people in a high school gym can get very, very loud. And anytime you can drive to a town and come back without having to sleep in a hotel, you learn to really think a lot of that, respect it, appreciate it, don't take it for granted. Wouldn't matter that the other guys, when we're running 2 towns a night, that they were in somewhere that had 6,000 people, because it would have been a bigger card, a bigger crowd. A lot of those small venues, and when we would run like Marine Armories and things of that nature, it'd be a single main event. And if you were in that main event, you had made a nice little payday. And you didn't have to go to the airport, spend the night, go to the airport again, that type of stuff. Because it's completely different travel when you have to do all that stuff.